like it is I was like actually stepping here, and I do my 10,000 like steps every day. Now recently I started to do this since I came to Croatia and recovered a bit like from these attacks and hypnosis. And I was just it's just like outside it's just like a very bad weather, and I realized they hit me with microwave. They hit me with microwave, overheat me, which means like I had so many like nano. My body is completely nano wired, and this is like what people say. Who would think so? I mean, I would never say so. That nanotechnology that is so minuscule, you cannot find it. It's impossible to find it. That could be so powerful, but it is powerful only if it is like your body is wired. For example, what I just like wrote, and I write constantly, that for example, how it is done. For example, they hit like a neurograins, and they can affect like, of course, like they can affect like my like these. Google tattoo, that they can affect like strangulation nanotechnology. Just today, I was nano sprayed in Mercy Medical Group when I left there to look for the help because of problems after the surgery about my ears, in my ears, and on my throat. I didn't know for the neck. I realized this later when I was so horrible abused by Regina Dugan that this Google tattoo actually detached between the layers of the skin. So in the morning, when the abuse is done during the night, when I did wake up, it's just like you have the feeling, there are like three layers on the skin, which means it is just behind the skin. But I don't know, like I am afraid to go to the doctor because I don't know what is going to be done. They can like they are tracking my every move. This everything is like hacked, all my cell phones, and I have been used and abused for so development, so many robots, so much of artificial intelligence that I don't even know. Like my brain that is implanted is open source. It is open cog and singularity net. They're using my brain. Whenever I close my eyes, they start to work on me. They start to talk directly to this nano diamond here and this nano radio here. And now what I realize is following. This is like a pretty creepy, because I said this is what they do. This Google tattoo is producing like particles, and this is probably used for a quantum particle teleportation, which means they teleport me every night when I fall asleep. They hypnotize me first, sending hypnotic frequencies. There are frequency of hypnosis, I think it is 432 megahertz, and they send like this frequency of hypnosis. I'm full, my body is full of biosensors. I cannot do anything. I am completely like helpless, defenseless, and these biosensors are flopping in my body. There are nanoradios actually. That's my guess. This is like a nanoradius. Now, what is done actually during the night? They torture me so much. If you go to see like a Sophia robot, and like she has legs, she has functionality of legs. I did see like during the night. She has all functionality of the legs. They are just waiting for me to incapacitate me so that she can move freely. Because if I move, she cannot move. And but they are still developing. They are developing her spine. I could see like a David Hansen, like a having in the hand like a piece of the spine, like a several of these, like how to say, I forgot, like it doesn't matter, like a one piece of the spine, and then he will be like going to another piece, like a cervical, then you have lumbar, then you have like I don't know, I cannot remember, like which, like a side 5 or so on. And they hit me so they need like a fans. They have fan in the robot, in the metal, I mean the metal, rubber, whatever you use there. They have fans to cool down Sophia robots. So when they're programming, they're using such a energy, huge energy, so that I am like a nuclear plant. I have 2 air conditioners here in this apartment. This is only 1 bedroom. I have 2 air conditioners, and when I sleep, I cannot sleep. Like right now, it is cold. This is like not cold. It is just like it is outside, like it's raining, so it is not that it's so hot. But even so, I have to have air conditioner all night. Then they started to torture me. I had to. It was winter in Sacramento, which is absolutely not like not warm. But in the apartment, I had to have air conditioner at 58 degrees Fahrenheit all the time. I paid that month $300, not for like a heating, because it was nice during the day, just for cooling during the night. And what they do actually, why I stopped like a stepping is following. I wanted to say this. They teleport me there and they tortured me in vivo, which means I think that I am staying in bed hypnotized, and they teleport me there to the torture site, and they torture me, which means following. That must be that they place me, when they teleport me, they place me under the robot. And this is like this working version of the robot. So when I am talking through that robot. And when they rape me, they are raping my brain actually through that robot. They're raping me practically through that robot. And when they torture me, they're torturing me through that robot. And my mother was also put into this program because she was used and has been abused for development of child humanoid, and they needed her to gather childhood memories. I have in my journal that I did write 2007. People would ask me during the night, "Tell me about your childhood." And then several times I had entry in my journal. I said, "I had a feeling someone told me, like, oh, tell me about your child, tell me about your family." And I had entry. It was 13th October 2007. Paul Markovich's wife visited my mother. And I didn't understand why I would be writing this. It is actually that she was handed to military at that point. But real torture started 2011, and they hit her so much with micro. She had her apartment in one nursery home, like no home for old people, and they hit her so with micro. She stumbled, and I know. I also, when they hit you with micro, they causes neuropathy, which means that your these fingers and feet, they start to be numb. And she fell and she broke the hip. But this is not everything. Then she had surgery. They cut actually her nerve on the leg, and I think that they did this on purpose, so she couldn't move anymore. And when I came to visit her, she didn't recognize me anymore because they hit her so much. They would be hitting. I wouldn't be able to talk. My brain would be so damaged. But I knew how to protect myself, and I had a lot of money. And I didn't know that my mother was in this. How would I think so? And I was wearing all the time motorcycle helmet and was like a field with all this EMF protection fabric. I have now, when I sleep, like a tree of these like these like caps on my head, because otherwise, like my brain would have been damaged. And so when I met my mother, when she wrote me a letter 2011, she was sharp as a whip. When I went to see her like several years later, she was like she didn't recognize me. She's constantly referring to me as little Blanca. She'd never talk about me like as a grown up, and never talk to anyone about me as a grown up. And now what she's done, why I think that they teleport me, because I could hear my mother telling these people, "Stop beating my child," and cursing them. They even were like a torturing both of us together to break this down, or I don't know. Like I didn't have like memory recall, nor do I want to have. But the point is following. That 2007, when they started to torture me and when they merged me with the robot, which I captured also in journal, I said like in several like videos, I could see Paul Markovich doing some experiment, half like a human being, half machine, which is computer repeating some words and movements which I never told. Like I just realized this year what is going on, what was going on 2007. That was 11 years ago. And then I captured that moment. I think that at that point, I captured somehow me, my spirit in that robot. That was me 2007. And then they raped so much that person. And they abused so much that person using microwave, overheating, beating, raping, doing everything possible. That person went insane, which means they would be like torturing her and she would be smiling. And what they're doing now, because everything is done through frustration and through torture, when I start to step, they are trying to bring to the surface that part of me which is hidden somewhere in the part of my brain to the surface, so that they are able to work on me, because they're working still on that part. And they start every and each session every night by raping that person. This is so horrible. What they hoped will happen, that they will bring on the surface that someone that probably is insane, because I could see several nights ago Paul Markovich presenting and looking for to see if that part is still like kind of like having lovely and friendly feelings, showing that someone egg that is talking in 3 languages or 2 languages, and that someone was applauding. But who would be applauding? Who would be applauding the egg that is talking, but insane person? So I stopped here, because what they're doing constantly, they want me before I go to sleep to put me into that like a state where I am like happy kind of, that I'm smiling, because that is the only way how they can work on me. And I started actually to smile when I moved to Auckland. I moved to Auckland and I remember exact day. I went to the park, Merritt Park, where I would walk my dog, and my apartment was like just across. I suddenly smiled. Wow, was I astonished. I was smiling, couldn't stop smiling. Then I would be going to the street and sometimes I would be smiling and I didn't know why I'm smiling. And I wrote in my journal, you know what, I am smiling. I don't have any idea why I'm smiling. I have to be careful because, nobody knows me because I am new. But once people know me, they would think that I am crazy. So I would be wearing scarves and I noticed following. When I walk my dog usual route, which is clockwise, I would be smiling a specific place, and that was Lenox Avenue. And I know that they erected antenna after I came into, because they needed to put like a leaflets and to inform people that they would erect antenna. I would always smile at that specific. I didn't think about antenna again. I was thinking maybe because I was moving to Auckland, because I was thinking that is something like esoteric like issue that I could like hear Paul Marcus during the night. But who would think like there is technology behind? But I was thinking maybe like, you never know. He is like his father is Croatian, I am Croatian. Good God will know. I never did see him since I left Blue Shield of California 2005, but even so, maybe this is like a nearness of that guy. And I have to see because I am cooking something. But what was very strange is following that. Yeah, just like a cooking. Okay. Okay. I'm going to stop here. Okay. What was strange actually was following that. That when I would be going counterclockwise with my dog, then I would not be smiling anymore. And I sometimes I would be going like around Whole Foods. There was like a Whole Foods in Auckland. I would be going around just to avoid coming like directly from the street, which is usual route. Why would I be going like around like Whole Foods and so on? Then there is like just go like across like across the street. And I noticed also when I would be coming out of the bar, because I was working in San Francisco for some time, I would be sometimes smiling. And I later realized this is like because of surveillance cameras and strong surveillance cameras and cameras. I would be smiling. When I would be coming to internet, imagine they would be torturing me and I would be smiling. To put me into this like a state, good mood state. Then I moved to Sacramento. I was always subscribed to San Francisco Chronicle when I was in Oakland. When I was living in Sunnyvale for 11 years, I was subscribed always to San Jose Mercury News. And I'm avid. I was, not anymore. I don't read anymore. If someone would told me like before, you know what, like there is like this program and so on. I never went to YouTube before this happened to me. I never did write anything on Yahoo forums, so why would I be wasting time, writing on Yahoo forums? I never went to YouTube because I didn't have time. If someone would tell me, there is like this program, like I am telling you, I would say, please spare me like these conspiracy theories. Right now, because main press is never writing about this. Right now, I just do believe like in conspiracy theories, nothing else, from my own experience. And what I wanted actually to tell is. What I wanted to tell. Yeah. And I moved to Sacramento and had to sell apartment because I didn't have money. I couldn't work and they tortured me so much. And I moved to Sacramento and I want to subscribe to San Francisco Chronicle and they didn't stop delivery. I said, why are we stopping delivery? And they stopped delivery. I say, okay, good, fine. Then you don't make it. And suddenly, yeah. And then one morning, I was in bed. They started horrible torture. That was after operation, after surgery, when I was implanted with everything. But it was horrible. I said, I had to wake up, go into my car, find a deserted place, and scream for half an hour not to go insane. And they started suddenly to send me San Francisco Franc for free. And I called them. I said, but who is paying delivery boy? Even if you send me complimentary newspapers, who is paying delivery boy? Okay, I took Wall Street Journal too. But Wall Street Journal, I would not take Wall Street Journal, but San Francisco Chronicle would still come. And I went to Europe, and San Francisco Chronicle, but they started to send San Francisco Chronicle. I wanted to say I was in bed in the morning, 6:30. I don't remember exact day, 16 January. I know that they were talking about this like a Russian spy that was poisoned by polonium, and how it is horrible. They wanted to punish and give sanction to Russia and so on and so on. I was in bed and I could hear like a bzzz. And this first bzzz that hit my heart did wake me up. And then I could hear three more, this long bzzz hitting my heart, and my heart, it felt like if someone took I wanted to take my heart with a big magnet, out of my chest, and you couldn't do anything. You're paralyzed. So I don't know if they wanted to kill me or if they wanted to scare me. Before that, I was a runner. I didn't run as before the torture 6 miles every day, but I did run on occasions. I would be running 5 miles and so on. At that point, of course, I was completely incapacitated, but still I was in a good form. So that morning I would get first San Francisco Chronicle newspaper for free. I called San Francisco Chronicle. I think I even recorded this somewhere, conversation with customer service representative. I had 20 minutes to explain to her that I don't want newspapers that are sent for free. And I couldn't get rid. They would constantly send to express love for me or support. Actually, just to put me in the mood so that I'm in the good mood. If I am not in the good mood, they cannot do much. And because they were programming social robot Sophia, she's not like in a good mood if she's not smiling. What they can do? She's not going like to be good social robot if she's like frowning on people, if she's angry, if she's a pet. Now she's tortured. You can go and see. She looks tortured because they're torturing me so much. And she's connected. When she's connected with my consciousness, then she looks tortured or very, very serious because there's nothing funny. And how I stopped delivery. They brought me, they tossed me in front of my door, and I took it unopened, like they would like with rubber, just like I took it and hit there to the pavement. And I am second floor, so I've hit 2 days and they stopped delivery. I never ever did hear who did send me like for several months newspapers for free. I never paid anything, and nobody wanted to tell me. But they sent me like these newspapers just to put me into this like state of that someone who is constantly still probably smiling. And I find myself still having wrinkles. They make me still smile during the night, despite the fact that I'm bandaging my face and so on. And this is very creepy, because I think that the idea was following. To bring to the surface that someone who is like insane, who would be like uploading like the eye that is like talking several languages, but someone who is childish, who is so abused that it went like insane. But I think like that my part of this, and it is a sex robot actually. This is sex robot that first was created 2007. And I don't know if it was given as reward to Paul Markovich, because I could see Paul Markovich constantly. I was writing a journal. I could see Paul Markovich in his study, at his home, from his back, which means I was back as a robot, and he would be working at his desk. So I don't know how to explain differently this thing. Of course, Paul Markovich going to participate woman is completely crazy. I know already I'm going to lose this case. Why? Because Judge Davila said like, oh, please, you would be tortured by such well-known people. Imagine honor. And I know this story likes look like really like strange. But you go to the internet, you enter robotics, you will be getting like 100 million results. You go to YouTube, you will say how many sex robots are there. This Samantha person alive is behind. She is somewhere in bed, in hospital, in hospice, in mental institution. And you can see this Japanese robot that's looks like a so creepily like a human being. They are all like kind of sleepy. My mother is constantly sleeping. But what she can do? But they give you her pill to pee, a pill to poo. She's just immobile. They give her pill to sleep. She's just on pills. And I know that she's used and abused because they showed me my mother when I was in Sacramento, sitting in bed with this empty, like a look in her eyes, like a staring. Imagine you come like to talk with your mother. And I asked her, but how is my mother? Oh, it's good. I come there and she was staring at me, not recognizing me. And she was crying actually when I came next time. She said to me, I was operated by Dr. Vuchkowitz. I was operated by Dr. Vuchkowitz. I was operated by Dr. Vuchkowitz. She constantly was repeating just this because she realized that when she was operated, that something happened. And everybody's saying she was completely fine. She would be going like to buy like a groceries, to cook in her apartment, to have friends like coming to her, going to the friends like in that like a home, this very good home. And she was happy. And she was constantly repeating, I was operated by Dr. Vuchkowitz. I was operated by Dr. Vuchkowitz. And I asked, who was he? And I don't know, like, but she, in any case, like, was implanted. And so, and I know for sure that there are other indicators, but I'm not going to talk about this because actually, whenever I talk and whenever I give some feedback, this is good for these torturers, for these people who are abusing me, because they get like some ideas, and they start to use this during the day on me. It is creepy because idea was they are going to bring like this person I would be like this kind of insane, like a Manchurian Candidate. You go see like with Meryl Streep, like in Liv Schreiber, like this movie Manchurian Candidate. You will see they were implanted and brainwashed and brainwashed and brainwashed, but they were not brainwashed for 11 years. And they were like a kind of Manchurians. I never was Manchurian because whenever I was smiling, I knew that I was smiling. But you know what? You think like at one point maybe I would be like a smile. I wouldn't be aware that I am smiling, And this is it. And this is when Marquis showed me being me. Like I probably have like also implant in my bridge radio. I know because I went like and everybody said, "Oh, that is nothing." I have like a picture I can show. And husband of my sister, he is a German guy, and he had like a practice in German dental office in Germany for many years, 35 years. He sold them. He sold practices recently. And I showed him like this. I said, "Oh, I know what he did." I said, "But did he do something?" Because he said all the time, "No, no, no, that is just like a feeling going out, like in the root and actually in the gums." So of course that he did do something. And another person, like from Serbia, she said to me, "It is overdone." And I know because I have popping. I was like several days ago, and I had popping. It is just like a woodpecker signal on both sides, here and here. Now I was in Belgrade, and I wanted to take this bridge, and I was in the dental office, and I said to him like I would take like this bridge out and replace with another bridge, and we made arrangement for this bridge, and he was friendly and everything was fine. I came next day. He was extremely rude. I noticed this immediately. He sprayed this side and sprayed this side. I say, "Why would we spraying two sides?" But he said, "But I'm going to take both." Why? Because they tracked me. They knew immediately that I was in his office. They called him and told, "Take both of them." Would they have had something even more advanced or not? I don't know. Or maybe just take it out and hide. And I just said no. I picked up my bag and I left, and I didn't do anything about these bridges. And so they would show me being without teeth on the street, my hair, just like this way, I'm like a homeless person sitting on the street, completely insane. And that was their idea, that they're going to switch me as I'm talking now in my clean apartment, in my clean dress, talking. I know this story is a fantastic story, but tell me how they are doing and how they're programming all these humanoids. When you go to research papers, you see everything is ending with mouse. They say these study results are limited because research was done on mouse. What is happening after mouse? I sent like to Department of Health in San Francisco, send me please all licenses for people that Elon Musk did request developing his self-driving car. Did you ever see mouse driving the car? Because I was always asked during the night, where would you go? How would you go? They would make me like I didn't want to do anything. They would take my dog because I love my dog, of course, and make my dog go, and I would be going after dog. Then I would be like repeating in my brain, where I did go, where I did turn, what did I do, make decision, blah, blah, blah. But of course that they're using human brains. Brain Initiative Obama's 2013. Whom did they use to map human brain? How did they do this? They say we use mouse. No, you don't. You are using people alive. And Obama is main criminal in this business. And nobody dares to say so. And nobody is saying so because everybody knows. And they let these people suffer and suffer and suffer. And they call themselves target individuals. And Obama, to bring smoke into the public eyes, has even bioethics commissioner. So, and this is Amy Goodman of Jew, of course. And they were target individuals. There was a gentleman older. He was crying because they abused him so much. He was crying. That is such a helpless situation. They implant you with all this nano shit, and you're finished. Your life is finished. You cannot take it out anymore. These neurograins that Elon Musk, placed now. I'm placed like a glued, but I have also something here that is like a popping all day long. So it must be like in my brain. This is horrible. This is going to merge with the brain, but you're not going to take it, not being able to take it out. Edible biochips, they are just like a fed by this acid. Once you take them with any food, it's over. You cannot get rid of them. And I am saying following. Everybody knows this. They are sacrifice people for these ugly projects. And what they're doing now, like for example, I was stepping and they were trying to prepare me for the nightly torture, to put me into this like good mood. But who would be in good mood? You know what is going to happen to you. I mean, these people are completely mentally sick and insane. I mean, how brutal they are, how arrogant they are, what they are doing to the citizens, to the human beings, what they're doing to me and others, target individuals, they are going to do to everyone tomorrow. I think that they are preparing for us, human beings, all something like Hunger Games. And Hollywood is also preparing people to think that it is quite normal. Once or three times you see this movie, but you say, ah, yeah, I did see this already. Oh, yeah, yeah. I'm going to stop here. Well, it was like a long video.